about hypnosis as this natural state that people go in and out all the time, right? And then the next thing we want to talk about is what is hypnotherapy. So Vince, do you want to come and tell people a little bit about what is that? Like, why do we use hypnosis in therapy?
Yep. Well, once we have understand the what is hypnosis and how hypnosis how was the powerful of hypnosis is, and we want to utilize this state of mind to do good to you let you achieve the goals. That's why we do it in therapy way. So by utilizing a lot of different methods, and based on this hypnosis outer state of mind, you can achieve tremendous goals using this state of mind over here. But of course, we want to talk about hypnotherapy. We need to understand a little bit what is the theory underlying it behind, which we call up, the psychology ways. And here I want to share a little bit more deeply on this. Is that everyone know that the father of psychology, Sigmund Freud, actually come up with a theory. They said that in our mind and over here we have, they said that a conscious mind and unconscious mind over here. So conscious mind is what we have very conscious about. We what we see in here, what we hear, what we feel in here is what we process in our daily life here is all our conscious mind. But we have actually, there's another bigger area in with what we call it pre-conscious mind or unconscious mind inside us that actually absorb everything that other than the conscious mind has observed. So meaning that a lot of things that we can't control, let's say for example like our breathing, our like thoughts and growth in memories, everything actually stored in the unconscious mind. So by using going to this outer state of mind, hypnosis, we actually can engage the unconscious mind more and seek our resources over there to achieve our goals. So this is part of our make it as a journey to therapy in that way.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And so let me go a little bit deeper than what Vince said. So everybody has a subconscious mind, right? And your subconscious mind governs your feelings. So have you had this experience that your mind tells you, I need to do this thing, I need to do it, and you just feel like, no, I don't want to do it, I don't feel like doing it, and then you start not doing it, like procrastinate. If you had that before, you would know that that's exactly how it is. A lot of times we can control our conscious mind to whatever extent that we want. We can tell ourselves what we need to do, what we should do, what we must do, what is rational, what is logical, what do people want to know, what do people want to hear us say. We will know all of those things. But a lot of times when we know it, we find it so difficult to do it because our heart is not aligned. And when I say our heart, I really do mean the subconscious mind. Because when your subconscious mind is not aligned with your conscious mind, your feelings is not aligned with your brain. Your heart and the brain is like two different ways. That's where the dilemma comes into play. You want to lose weight, but your body keeps eating and don't want to go exercise. You want to be able to work for that special project that you have, but then some part of you say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do it much. And so that a lot of times why we are procrastinating so much is exactly because we haven't really told the subconscious mind what we want in a very clear way. Our body doesn't know what we want. And so the body is like a kid. The body does whatever it feels pleasurable, right? Or anything that it feels like, oh, I like this, it will continue doing. And so if your mind is forcing yourself to do something you don't like to do, you will find that it's so difficult for you to say, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna like climb a mountain. You feel like it's taking so much of energy to do something that you should be doing, right? Why do we do hypnotherapy? Is because we want to align the mind with the subconscious mind. Because as I said, when you do it alone, you might not be able to do it very well because imagine you have a wild kid inside, right? So imagine you have a wild kid with you. And the kid, you can tell the kid, okay, stop walking, stop doing anything, just sit down there. And sit down and do your homework, right? And the kid, will they listen to what you say? Chances are no. Chances are they will sit down for 2 minutes and they'll start walking around. They'll sit down for 3 minutes, they'll start talking to you. They sit down for 5 minutes, they'll start jumping around and starting to take their toys and whatever not. That's exactly how the body is. If you're not strict enough with the subconscious mind and you don't tell it exactly what it needs to do, it will start going on and start finding new things to do, exploring, finding the things that they used to like to do. And that's what happens all the time. Okay? And so in hypnotherapy, so let me tell you what's the difference between hypnotherapy and all other therapies out there. So a lot of therapies out there, they work with just the conscious mind. So when we talk about psychiatrists, psychologists, we talk about psychotherapists, we talk about there's a lot of different therapies out there, and most therapies just work with the conscious mind. They get you to change your point of view. But a lot of times we go in deeper, we bring a person into the state of hypnosis and work with that because, as we said earlier just now, the state of hypnosis allows you to be open to suggestions. And when you're open to suggestions, what happens is the therapist will tell you exactly what you need to know and tell your subconscious mind exactly what you want. And can you imagine how powerful is that? Just think for a few moments. If you have been struggling whole of your life, trying to accomplish a certain set of things, and you just, no matter how much you try, you still can't achieve it, then you got to start thinking, maybe there's something that's stopping me from achieving. Really, what's that something? And a lot of times it really goes back to the subconscious mind and that belief. What belief do you have about yourself? What belief do you have about your own limitations that is stopping you from achieving that goal? And so in hypnotherapy, what we do is we really get all the way to the bottom of it and understand what's that belief that is stopping you from achieving your goals. And and when you're in the state of hypnosis, when we hypnotize you, it goes all the way in. And what you begin to see is you begin to see changes. And it's not like you wake up and you're like, you go into hypnosis and suddenly open your eyes and like, okay, I'm going to change the world. It's not like that. So that's like, a bit of exaggerated version of hypnosis. But what happens is really, it's like when you go into hypnosis, you're enjoying the state so much. It's such a relaxing state. And then usually you will feel so relaxing that you don't really care what's happening. And so then that's the time where the therapist will actually tell you whatever that you want your body to know. And when it goes right in, what's going to do is when you wake up, you will still feel like you. It's not black magic, right? So you will still feel like you will still feel like whatever it is, and you will know what's happening when you're in the state of hypnosis. You will know exactly what the therapist say. You know exactly what you're experiencing. But whether you choose to focus it or not, that really depends on you. And so once you wake up from it, you will still live your life as a daily life. But the special thing is when you go to sleep at night, the mind processes that information. And when the mind processes that information at night, that's where the magic begins to happen, is that the next day when you wake up, when it's fully processed, all the information, you start seeing something changes. And why does that happen is because every night when you sleep, your subconscious mind doesn't sleep. Your conscious mind goes to bed. Your conscious mind basically decides to go to a dream or decides to go to somewhere else. Usually before you sleep, you sort of notice that you think of something very relaxing, very comforting. And that comforting thing basically distracts your mind and you go to sleep, in the sense that conscious minds go to sleep. But your subconscious mind is always 24/7 working for you. And that subconscious mind is what is working at night. And notice what it's doing. It will basically be processing every single thing that you saw that day, every single thing that you heard that day, every single thing that went through your mind. And guess what? Because you came to a hypnotherapy session, that is labeled as important in your mind. And when the subconscious mind says, okay, this, my body of mind, my conscious mind basically paid a therapist to do this, it must be pretty important. And so let me just label this as very super important. And then we'll look into everything that the therapist said during that session and process it in a super important way. And so the next day when you wake up, it's sort of like it clicks, something will have formed, like a connection, a new connection would have been formed in your mind. And then when you wake up, suddenly you feel like, okay, now I feel like doing the exercise. Now I feel like eating more vegetables. Now I feel like going out and earning money and finally earn my first million. That's what the subconscious mind does. It processes it. Once it gets the right information in, it knows what to do. That's where things starts to change. Vince, do you want to sort of share more?
Yep, I totally can relate to that. For example, like before we use hypnosis, let's say we had a bad day, and you always people will say that, tell to yourself, you are awesome, you are good, you can do it, that kind of thing. But when I tell to myself with that, immediately I have a doubt. Am I that good? Am I able to do it? I might not it's not that good. I'll have doubt of myself in that way. But once, if let's say we do it using the hypnosis way, and we direct engage with the unconscious mind or subconscious mind, that we tell them that you can think more clearly, you are more confident, you can do it, you are good and awesome. And once it processed through the unconscious mind, your bodies will feel differently, and you don't have that judgment or self-doubt of say that whether am I okay to do it? You don't have that process. We straight away tune into the subconscious mind, and your body will immediately feel it. Wow, awesome! I feel confident. I can do it. Then it kind of like have more effective way, rather than you just use the normal conscious mind, just telling yourself you can do it. You're the best. That kind of thing. The effect is totally different.
Yep. And then to add on to that, why is that? Is because the conscious mind has a lot of judgments, criticism, and most importantly, excuses, right? So you tell yourself, okay, I'm great. And then the other side will be like, no, actually, so many more people better than you, huh? And then the other side of it, you sort of like, you say you're great, but then, you're not doing all these things, you're not really achieving all these things, you're not that great. So whenever you tell yourself something, notice that there's a lot of times there will be another voice trying to say that, nah, 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 nah. And that's basically the mind sabotaging yourself, right? And why does it does that is because you are basically, you are programmed to survive. You're not programmed to live a happy life. But now in today's day and date, most of us can survive. I mean, like, put COVID by the side, but most of us can survive. And so this brain function of keeping us all the time on our toes to make sure we survive is not really that important anymore. And so what we want to really train our brain is to be more happy, to really notice what brings happiness, notice how to be peaceful. Just now, I was just having a nice chat with my friends, and we were talking about how in the corporate environment, we know so many people. We know the managers, the senior managers, we know the C-level people. And even though people are earning 100,000 a month, we look at them and we don't think that they are happy, right? So you can see that nowadays, we always think that people who earn more money feels happier. But now when we look at it, we don't really feel that. A lot of times when you watch dramas, you see, oh, these people who is from the rich family have so many different problems. And then they want to be like the person in the less fortunate family, because when they don't have the money, they become united. And that's true to a certain extent, because you look at it, when we are really busy hustling life and we are busy really getting all the dangers away, we are making sure that we have a roof to stay, we have enough food to eat, we have enough clothes to wear, we want to make sure that our kids and our family members are protected. We don't really have much time to doubt ourselves. We have that's like a luxury. We need to keep working for it. There's no doubt, and you just keep working and doing and doing and doing and doing. And so that basically brings the whole people, like everybody together, because when you start having money and then you start thinking, okay, I'm having all this money, but I'm not feeling the satisfaction, I'm not feeling happy. And that again and again is coming a current theme in the clients that I meet. I do meet a lot of clients that they are at a pretty high level and they're earning quite a lot of money, and they come to me and say, Shui, I really don't know what's happening to me. I lost my goals. I lost my drive. I lost everything. I'm not motivated to do the things that I want to do anymore. And why is that? And so a lot of times you boil down to noticing that we just forget to be in touch with the subconscious mind. We forget to be in touch with the feelings. We keep everything in the brain and we keep going money, 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 money. And then after that, we just look at it and say, okay, so now what? We have been like ignoring that feelings for so long, and we don't even know how to feel anymore. And so that's why hypnotherapy is so important. And I always say that to anybody and everybody, just try one session. You know why? Because in that one session, you begin to know yourself much more. You will know what's holding you back. You'll be able to know what do you really want into the future. You will sort of like go into a mode where you're much more in touch with yourself, and you're much more courageous to face whatever feelings there are. Because let's face it, humans' emotions, the few popular emotions we have is happiness, joy, peaceful. But then there's a lot of negative emotions that we face all the time. There's anger, there's sadness, there's a lot of huge of pain, there's envy, and there's a long list of things that we don't want to feel because it's so pain. Comment down below if you felt a huge amount of pain before, the emotional pain so huge that you actually felt physical pain on your heart. We all had times where it is so difficult to go through whatever we're going through, whether it's a breakup, it's something to do with family, something to do with ourselves, and we really literally feel the pain right there. And because we don't want to feel that pain, we begin to run away from it. And as you run away from it, at the short time, it sounds like a good thing to do, because if you have no ways to overcome it and you feel so pain, the easiest way is to run. But after running away for it for 1 week, it's okay, it feels better. After 1 month, it still feels better, but is it solved? No. After 6 months, after 1 year, when you keep going and you naturally just run away from the pain, what happens is you never build that strength and resilience to really push through to the other end. You always say, oh, okay, that thing is right there. I'm gonna tiptoe around it. I'm gonna go the other side. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna go. No, even though the goal is right in front of that, you just need to pass through the hurdle to reach your goal. Because the perception of the pain is so huge, you choose to do everything else. And what happens along the way is you never go towards your goal, because you're just so scared of facing the pain. And what we do in hypnotherapy is we help you face that pain in a very safe way, in the way that you don't feel that hurt anymore, but you build strength around it so that you can just jump over it, or you can crush it down and move towards your goal. That is what hypnotherapy is here for. It's really to make you understand the limitations that you have in a nice, soothing way.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. It's a snippet from our Facebook Live, which is basically a session for me and my team of hypnotherapists to share information on how to take care of yourself, your emotional and mental health using hypnosis. So if you've learned anything from the video or you enjoyed watching it, hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel for much more of these videos. Alright, take care and see you again soon.